Aren't you observant? We did this little old video on the Matt Chandler business. This, in part, is what I said. Here it is, my hot take about Matt Chandler. I don't have one. There is a reason you're hearing a lot of people claim ignorance. It's because we are ignorant. Why? Because this is a local church issue. And those really are two of the 5 reasons I'm just not willing to be a clamoring voice in a circular firing squad to take shots at Matt Chandler when I haven't even been able to load or aim. Some of you rather observant folks left comments claiming that I wasn't being consistent because I did do a critical video on the Ravi Zacharias situation. You're right. Oh, no doubt you have heard about the unrepentant lifestyle of sin that was being led by Ravi Zacharias. So why didn't we choose to be critical of Matt Chandler? What's the difference? Why discuss one fallen leader and not the other? Totally valid and really important question. Here it is. There are rules to discernment. Proper biblical discernment demands we don't treat all scandals and situation with a one-size-fits-all approach. With that in mind, let me give you just a few reasons biblical discernment calls for a careful and thoughtful and prayerful approach to each situation. Number 1, Matt didn't confess to sexual or even romantic behavior. He confessed to texting a woman too frequently. Ravi Zacharias?
In August of 2020, we became aware of the allegations of his sexual misconduct and abuse at the spas. This is, by definition, abuse, and I am profoundly grieved and deeply sorry for this.
Number 2, Matt is a local church pastor, albeit a popular and well-known one, but a local church pastor nonetheless. Ravi was an international parachurch leader who traveled constantly around the globe to speak and sell his materials. Number 3, Matt was put under church discipline, at least of a sort, put on some sort of leave from his position at the village church. Ravi, during his life, never put under proper church discipline. Number 4, like we said in our initial video on Matt Chandler, the details around his situation are vague, and we just don't want to speculate when we just don't know the details. Ravi, on the other hand, he was investigated thoroughly by a third party who confirmed his very miscreant behavior. That's a big difference. Number 5, Matt, as far as we can tell, appears repentant. He confessed his misdeeds in front of the entire church. Ravi, on the other hand, went to his grave denying any bad behavior. And if you recall, I tried to make some of these discernment points in my opening remarks regarding Ravi. If this were a local church, we wouldn't be discussing a local pastor, but this is not the case. And these are not rumors. This is not innuendo. It has been confirmed by the ministry of Ravi Zacharias that he has been living for years a lifestyle of sin in massage parlors. And if I might, one last thought. Please note, even though we did address the Ravi scandal, my critique of Ravi was never intended to be our trash and burn diatribe. Instead, I tried to offer some potentially educational observations, specifically that when you see a leader who regularly fails to preach the gospel or robustly defend orthodoxy, there is smoke that should be investigated. There should be some questioning when there are theological issues, not a misspoken word or, they didn't say that very clearly, but I'm talking about a persistent and consistent lack of presenting the gospel clearly. And just one last note. I'm like a preacher who never wraps up. Please note, we had heard rumors about Ravi's behavior years before we publicly discussed his affairs. We did not rush to judgment. We didn't speculate before we knew what there was to know. and we only offered some hopefully helpful thoughts when his behavior was confirmed and the story was made public, and we thought we might be able to offer something that might keep us and the flock from being deceived in the future. In other words, we tried to follow some rules of biblical discernment, which we discuss in Drive-By Discernment and Judge Not, available at wretched.org. That's right. We just ended this video with a product plug. Please let us know below if you agree with us that biblical discernment means we treat each situation very carefully. Well, thank you, Carol. I can't wait to try some of that low-sodium peppermint lasagna. Sounds delicious. Let's get to the weather, shall we? As you can see, we are going to have a massive warm front moving its way up the eastern seaboard, expecting temperatures upper 90s and low 100s. Unless, of course, you're outside of Christ. Then on Judgment Day, it is going to be hot. Back to you, Carol. Not only hot, weeping, gnashing of teeth. And so thirsty, your tongue's gonna be stuck to the roof of your mouth. You're just gonna wish for a storm to come through, which you folks down in the south can be expecting on Wednesday.